Hola familia, soy Carlos Vides con Mentes Innovadoras aquí por Televida. Y yo siempre, como siempre, les deseo a ustedes que estén pasando un feliz verano. Pero ya viene el verano a su final. Así es que yo espero que te haya disfrutado, tomado sus vacaciones, hecho mucho dinero y todas esas cosas. Como siempre, sabe que me interesa mucho que usted cumpla sus metas. Así es que si usted puso metas en enero, dijo que iba a leer libros, que iba a la iglesia, que iba a ser mejor padre, que iba a bajar de peso, que iba a hacer todas estas cosas que nosotros decimos, que iba a ganar $1 millón, lo que sea. Míralo, véalo, ¿dónde está usted? Para así, ojalá y que los próximos 4 meses que nos sobran sean sus meses, para que así logre sus metas y no llegue al 2023 diciendo, híjole, la perdí toda, la regué como decimos, ¿verdad? Bueno, este día, tranquilito, tome notas porque le traigo una gran invitada. Esta muchacha se las sabe todas. Ella la conozco, es un cariño para mí porque conozco a su mamá, su papá y toda su familia desde hace muchos años. Yo los he visto desde el mero principio y es por eso que me orgullece mucho tenerla con nosotros este día. Por esa razón invité a esta gran mujer que quiero que hable con ustedes, más que todo ustedes madres solteras o parejas que quieren emprender un negocio. Póngale atención porque va a aprender mucho de esta muchacha. Es nuestra amiga Rosa Isurieta, una de las dueñas de Brixton Staffing Group. Por eso está con nosotros. Rosa, thank you for being here with us today.
Un placer. Es un placer.
Oh my God, so cool. You know, I see you traveling all over. I see you sometimes. I heard that you were actually working as you travel as well, right?
Yes, I do that a lot.
You do that a lot. Because I see you that you go to Florida, then you're in Kansas City, and you just all over the place. But does it still consider work?
Yes, always.
Okay.
I try to mix work and pleasure combined, you know.
Yes.
And I take my family with me
Take
too.
advantage.
Yes.
It makes sense.
So
Yes.
I think.
But today I want us to go a little bit about who is Rosa Isurieta.
Okay.
You know, I've known you guys for a long time, specifically your parents and,
Yes.
and some of the kids and
Yes.
all that stuff.
Yes.
And I've seen you growing just like that all the time. Was it always this easy?
No, it was not easy at all. It was not easy at all.
Not easy.
No, I think it's very important to, you know, let people know that you have to surround yourself with positive people. Mm-hmm. You have to listen to suggestions, be open, have an open mind. I love networking and I love meeting new people, and a lot of my history here in Kansas City is learning and being surrounded by different ethnicities.
There we go. And when you say different ethnicities, it's a good point also, because you not from Central America or Mexico. Where are you from?
My parents are from South America, Ecuador.
Ecuador, little bitty country.
Yes, little bitty country, tiny little country.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, you know, meeting your family, your mom and dad, and it was always fun because we had all these conversations, and specifically when it was time for World Cups.
Oh, yes. I have all the recordings. My father used to put in the VHS and record all the recordings.
And for some of you may not even know what VHS is.
No.
But so are you originally from Kansas City then?
Yes, I'm born and raised in Kansas City, and my parents both came from Ecuador when they were in their 30s.
Mm-hmm. So they were actually right at the right age as well, because some of us coming like me, I came here when I was 16.
Yes.
But they were 30, so they already knew what they want.
Yes. And my parents were both very hardworking. My mother was, she retired from Children's Mercy. She did housekeeping for all her life. Mm-hmm. And then my father worked in a warehouse as a labor worker, retired also from doing that. My parents worked hard. Yes. And I saw that.
Yes.
And they put a lot of their energy on raising their family, providing a roof over our heads and food. And they paid for my education, for my, private education, Catholic school and high school.
Yes.
So they spent a lot of money for my education, and I respect that.
So education sounds like it was a thing that they care so much about their kids to go through.
Yes. And so that was very important for me growing up. And also the diversity in Kansas City that, where we grew up in the city, I would just go with Filipinos, Vietnamese, Black, white, Mexican Americans. So I was always exposed with diversity.
But the community, the way it is now to what it was then, it still wasn't that as big as it is.
No, it wasn't big at all. It was smaller, of course. But now, the city is growing, communities are growing. But, I want to give back to the community. That's my roots, is Kansas City. So our company, Brixton Staffing Group, we put a lot of people to work, and we're responsible for for putting a roof over their children's head.
Correct.
Yeah.
And when you say you put into work, that means you help them out to get a job, is what you do, right?
Yes.
Para ustedes están escuchando, lo que ella hace es que ella tiene una agencia donde le consigue trabajo a usted. Entonces, si usted no ha buscado trabajo y no ha encontrado un lugar donde a usted le guste, llámele a Rosa y Surieta, a Brixton Staffing Agency, porque ellos le van a ayudar a usted. Pero también no solamente eso, I think that when you guys hire people, because the passion and because the background that you have, where you come from, seeing your dad work and your mom work, both sound like a type of labor type of work, right?
Yes.
So you understand what your clients will go to work too.
Of course.
So,
because I have done the work too.
You've done it yourself.
I did housekeeping for the Kansas City Marriott. I did housekeeping at Embassy Suites downtown on the plaza. I worked in warehouses. So I know exactly what it is to work hard, just like my parents did. And then I said, I want to go to college. I want to go to school. No, maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't know. We can't say that.
Hey, this is the truth. And that's what I want people to see. Who is Rosa Isurieta?
Yeah.
And if at one time, you were working hard, you were doing all the labor work, and all of a sudden you woke up, something turned in your head and said, wait a minute, stop.
Yeah.
I want to go to college and change my lifestyle.
Right. But I understand where, my parents had no option. My parents had no option. They didn't have the means to go back to school or to, learn the English better, Even when my father passed away, he still wasn't proficient in speaking English, But my father was stubborn a little bit, He
that. Made a way. Oh, yes. That I know. He will not go away.
He loved the Spanish culture, But here in Kansas City, we have so many communities and it's growing. And there's so many companies out there that are needing help and they need staff. So, my job is to go out and look for the companies and then my staff at the office are recruiting.
Yes. But I want you to take me back a little bit because you touch a point that I really want the community to hear this.
Yes.
And that is the time when you decided to go to college, because I was still stuck there.
Yes.
I think that somebody can take advantage of this.
Yes.
Benefit very much in hearing how you turned the switch on your head. And at what age were you? What age were you when
I was 20 after I graduated high school. I graduated from Bishop Miege High School. And I graduated a year later. I had my son, Alex, and I was 21 when I had Alex. So at that moment...
Is that Chino?
Yes, that's my Chino. That's my Chino. And at that moment, I said, you know what? I need to go to school. I need to do something. And my fiance at that time, my children's father, we both decided to go back to college at the same time.
That is fantastic.
We had good support system from our families. And so we both went to Baker University and graduated from Baker.
That is fantastic. When you went to college, did you go in with the end in mind to be where you are now, or you went in there for a different reason?
Both. I knew I wanted to do something with my degree, but also I didn't know too much, and I didn't know I was stuck. And a lot of at that time, you needed a degree to do something with your life. So we had to focus on our family and my child. So I said, oh no, I have to go out there and get a degree.
That's very good. Very, very cool, because, some families and single parent, like you guys are not married, so you just kind of like in a dating situation, but you were together and all that stuff. But sometimes people get stuck and they get caught up in the moment, just raising kids, and it's okay. I stay working where I'm at, and it's gonna be okay. I don't have to do anything else. And I see that every day, where people is just circling that wheel every day and not moving forward, not getting out of that little wheel. And the part that impressed me so much is that right there. One is how your dad, working at a factory, your mom being a housekeeper, had the vision, because not very many parents do it. You know what I'm talking about. We get very hard at work. We make money, we spend the money, and we pay very little attention to the education of our children.
Yes.
And I feel that is the number one thing that we should pay attention to.
Yes.
Education.
The investment. I highly recommend for our Spanish community to invest in your child's education. You have to invest in them. Just like my parents invested in us, my brother and I. It's totally worth it, because I take care of my mother now. So that's
how it goes. I mean, that's our typical behaviors in the Hispanic community. Take care of the parents, right? But when we don't take care of our kids when it's the right time, they won't be able to take care of us.
Yes. No, I don't do it because of that, but I do it from the bottom of my heart.
Correct.
And coming from the Spanish culture, I mean, that's what we do. We take care of each other. So, but I feel like my parents did the hard work.
Yes.
And then they gave us, something,
an
opportunity. They gave us the opportunity, and the means, and it's just like a ball, like you're handing over, And you have to do
you're looking
something.
at yours, and most likely you're trying to get them to go the same way as well.
I'm trying. Yes.
Because, and also it goes both ways.
Yes.
Because when we don't talk enough about education with our kids at home, right?
Yes.
So they had no expectations of that happening.
Right.
And when there is no expectations, then parents get distracted and go somewhere else.
Yes.
Kids get distracted and go somewhere else because they have they don't have a benchmark of what they should be and what they aim at. So, and I say this because I'm thinking of my kids as well, right? So how I talk to my kids and how I see all these families, right? I see families on both sides.
Yes.
Families that done it the way your mom and dad did it, and families that do absolutely nothing for their kids.
Right.
They only provide them a nice cell phone today.
Right. Allow
them money to go spend, but they don't give them what is the most important, that future.
The future. And, open communication, having open communication. My parents did the best that they could. My parents worked hard. I think I'm more of a visual person. I'm very observant. So I saw, them struggle. And in my mind, I said, they don't have to struggle like that, But with myself growing up here in Kansas City, speaking English, the English, of course, you have to have here in order to get a little bit more, get ahead. The English is very important. So
you mentioned to me a little bit about when we were starting the conversation, the idea and the desire that you have for empowering women.
Yes.
Can you expand a little bit about it?
Well, here, I guess what I'd like to share is that, being a minority women-owned minority-owned company, it's not easy. It's very hard. But I think if you surround yourself with positive women and you set goals, open-minded, listen to other people's suggestions, I think that right there can get the doors to open. But you have to have a drive, and you have to be motivated, and you have to be determined. You can't just sleep and not, and just sleep your days away and not do anything. You have to go out there. You have to hustle. And I see a lot of women that could do it, but they just need to be pushed a little bit, But so you have to push yourself.
Will you say they need to maybe find a place where they can get mentored?
A mentorship program.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. We need more of those. I would love to be involved in that.
Maybe some kind of group where there's all women CEOs.
Yes. Yes.
I'm just throwing this out there.
I think it would be great to get a lot of women-owned companies get together and then start mentoring some of the young ladies in the community. I think
now when they come to you, you always do something special for them, I bet, based on your experience, life experience and career experience in our business. So I'm sure that whenever you get hold of somebody, you grab them by the hand and work with them.
If I could, I would. I haven't had that opportunity yet, but I would definitely entertain it. That is something that I would love to do. That's part of the giving back to the community that I want to do.
Yeah. I like that. And it's a great thinking. And I think that eventually we will get there. And because our community is still young, most of us is people like me, that is first generation. You are what's considered second generation, but we are the first generation. So we still have that stuck in our head that we were born poor with little education and that we came here to work. Yeah. That's our thinking. Right. In our mind, we don't want to stop for a minute. If there are 2 hours available in a day, we want to be working for somebody else. And what I say to people is, and correct me if I'm wrong, I say, well, you may want to put so many hours of work, but you also want to put maybe 2 or 3 hours for yourself, where you do something for yourself, develop yourself for some time in the future.
Yes.
Right? Well, today I was reading this, where this guy said, he's a business mentor as well, and he said, look at where you are now. Look at where you want to be 10 years from now. Visualize it. Be very, very precise about it, right?
Yes.
And then he said, start acting like that person 10 years from now, today.
Wow. That's awesome.
So don't wait for the 10 years to go. No, you start, if you see 10 years from now, where you want to be, perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Then that successful person that's 10 years from now, be today.
Right.
And move forward being that person.
Right. That's beautiful. That is very beautiful. I love that. And I agree.
That's what I read this morning. And I'm like, wow, that's impactful, right? Because some of us say, well, I want to lose weight. That's for most people. I want to lose weight. I want to look sexy. I want to, I want to have more hair. No, I don't. I don't even like hair. But, I want to do all these things. People say, I want to do. I want to have. Right. But they do zero.
I think, well, with myself, I've always set goals. And I used to do visual boards every year, every January, just like you were saying earlier. And that's what I would do. And a lot of what I've put on my visual board, it's come to light. It's come to me.
Is Brixton staffing one of those visual boards?
Yes, it was on one of them.
Take us a little bit.
Well, I've been part of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce for it's been at least 12 or 14 years, something like that. I've known Carlos Gomez forever. And he has helped tremendously with networking and just, he took me under his wing. So I've met so many amazing people through the chamber and I really respect them very much. No, I just think it's important to meet the right people. You have to go out there. You have to put yourself in front of some positive people and business-minded people. If you want to get into business, you have to surround yourself with business-like people so that you can understand what their vision is and share ideas that, that's always good to know too. The do's and the don'ts. So
now you have these agencies, you have partners. In this business, you said, right? Because it's a group. One partner. And you started with one agency, and now how many you have?
Right now we have a location here in Kansas City, Houston, Austin, and we're about to open in Tampa.
How about that?
Yes.
All in the right places.
Oh, yes. Actually, it's going to be in Florida. We don't know Tampa right now. We're maybe thinking Florida.
All in the right places, because every one of those cities you mentioned sounds like a fun place to be.
Of course, and that's why. No.
Sounds like a fun place to be. But
you.
In the business planning, when we are planning a business, we do a planning, right?
Yes.
We do marketing, we do a process business,
right.
and we do a staffing, how many people we need to work with, and what is the core values of your group.
The core values of our group?
What are some of those core values that you want to make sure that when you are recruiting somebody, that person puts Rosa outside every time with that person? So when you send the client out to the field, that person represents your agency.
Yes, so I would totally say team player, respect, hardworking, dedicated, great listener, something like that. I mean, we our core values as Brixton is, just we're very family oriented. We listen. We're very, open to our staff. So I don't know. That's a kind of general question. There's so much that comes
and
to
the reason I ask that is because some companies, they're all about the money. And if you ask me, I'm a salesperson, right? But within my world, whenever I sell your product, I want to make sure that it's the product you need. I don't want to sell you a product you don't need. So that's one of my core values. So whenever I sell product, it's because you need it. Right. I see that you need it. We work together, we design it together, and then when you buy it, it makes sense for your lifestyle. Yeah. So I see you being the person you are and understanding the labor work so much as a person that whenever you recruit a group of people to go work at a factory or to work at a assembly line or to work at a hotel, I see you guys. I think you guys slow down and talk to them and say, okay, here are the rules. Here is what you do. Here is what you don't do. Is that about right?
Yes. Our staff members talk to everybody and let them know. And, a lot of our people that work with us have known us, know Sergio, know myself, and know our staff for a very long time. So we've connected with them for many years.
So most things come to you as a family because they see you as a family value.
Yes.
Because you said family is a big deal. And I know that's true because I see you always as a group.
Yes, we are. We are very connected. Yeah. Everyone that works with us is, to me, it's like it's your second family, your home, your work. So we work long hours. We work a lot. And Sergio and I, even though we're owners, we're very much involved in the day-to-day operations and everything. So we don't step back and, let everybody else do everything. No, we go and help, and we try to see what everybody needs and, work together as a team.
Perfect. Now we're coming a little bit to the end. What are some of the new opportunities that you are seeing coming up in your agency?
Well, there's a lot of factories coming to Kansas City. Kansas City is growing tremendously. So I know there's a lot of competition out there. There's a lot of competition, a lot of staffing agencies. But we're not just, our staff members are not just numbers. We engage with them. But in Kansas City, it's growing. It's growing so fast. And so I just know that a lot of companies are coming to Kansas City.
Now let me ask you this. Let's say there is a mom up there, a child in the 20s, right? And that person is maybe considering going to maybe ask you to find them a job, or maybe ask you to give them a job as one of your staff. How would that look like?
Oh yeah, I would be open to that. We have a lot of families that work with us. So
as recruiters,
as back office. So I have a lot of families working with us.
I like that.
Internally and external too.
And then as far as the cities that you're looking around the country, have you already found the place and found the people that's going to help you work there?
Right now, we are just focusing on Florida right now. We're just trying to get everything strong here. Kansas City, Austin, Houston, and Florida right now is where we're focusing.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, is there a message you can leave us and tell our audience what are some of the things that you did back in those days when you were still working as a regular employee, but it was in the back of your mind that one day you will not be a regular employee, that you will be a business owner? What was going on then?
Well, I think the number one was building relationships. If I could write a book about building relationships, I would. That has brought success to me because, when I was working for somebody else, I built relationships with a lot of people that own companies, business owners. And whenever, I moved on, they still wanted to know, where am I? Where are you? They had they had a way to call me.
Yes.
Or communicate with me, find me, Facebook, social media. So, they followed me throughout the years. They seen me grow.
Right.
Building relationships is a key to success, definitely.
Wow. For those of you that still are a little bit in limbo, building relationships is one of the strongest ways to grow your network, grow your business, grow your personal desires, because the right relationships will put you in the right place. And, I always say to people, when I'm mentoring, I said, be promotable. Don't ask for a promotion. Be promotable. Be in the right place when the right time comes. Boom, done. You in. And that's what Rosa has done. She put herself, she set herself up. Even when she was working for somebody else, she was connecting with the right people. She was building a relationship, and she was making herself available and aware to those people that she was there, and she had the ability that if they need somebody like her, she was just a phone call away. And so if you are working, you feel stuck right now, and if you feel you're not going anywhere, look at yourself. Are you promotable? Like if your boss comes to you today and say, I need a vice president of my company, are you that person? And if you're not, don't complain. Just stay right where you are until you figure these things out. And that is my best advice that I can give you. That's what I got from Rosa today. And that's what I'm getting out of you.
Thank you.
That's what I'm getting out of you, that being promotable, being available, it is such an important thing. And an opportunity came to you, where a business opportunity came to you. You had the right mindset, the right connections, the right frames, everything worked out.
Everything. It took a few years.
No,
it took years.
That's okay.
Success
doesn't happen overnight.
Right. No.
It happens when it's ready.
Right.
Because if you were born successful, then what was the fun?
Yes.
There was no fun.
Right.
But this is the fun. Building things that make you feel good, and also helping a community, showing a community how to do things right. And so those are the things you're doing right.
Right.
And there's so many people out there that look up to you.
Right.
And whether you know it or not.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And with that, I just got to say thank you very much for taking your time. I know you're super busy, but you took the time and chat with us a little bit and share a little bit about your story. Maybe we can have you come back.
We'll do a part two.
Some more of those offices are available. and
yes.
It's so much pleasure. You're so humble. You share enough for people to know that there is so much more opportunities.
Right.
Even when you are a Latino, daughter of an immigrant that barely spoke English, all those type of things.
Right. No.
I'm fascinated.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, for those of you, I wish you to have a great week. I hope you learned some good things out of this, and the notes that you have taken, go back and review the tape and share with friends or family. Rosa Isurieta is a great lady, and if you don't know where to find her, look her up on Facebook, Brixton Staffing Group. And they are here in Kansas City. They have a few offices here in Kansas City. They are moving out of the state. So it is a great chance for you to grab onto her coat and let's go with her. That's what I
Thank
got
you.
for you. This is Carlos Vida with Innovative Minds here at Televida. You have a great week today.